For the people that don't know you, can you kind of give a background to how you started with the music industry?
Yeah, I started playing music when I was 8 years. There was a talent show at my elementary school, and I signed up to sing and play the guitar. And I had never played an instrument in my life, never sung a note. And I just went home and told my mom, "Hey, mom, I signed up for the talent show at school." And she was like, "What's your talent?" And I told her I was going to sing and play the guitar. And so that really just got me started. About 2 weeks later, I played in that talent show. And from then on, you just couldn't really get me off stage. From there, I went to an art school after that
Mhm.
where my major was band. I was a flute nerd. And so that really gave me a lot of background into music and just learning how to read and write music. And then when I was 17 years old, I moved to Nashville to chase this crazy dream music industry.
That is so awesome. And it sounds like that you were in music from such a young age. So was there anything that you were equally passionate about, or was it just music all the time?
Yeah, so for me, is more of a realist and that I was going to go to college and my first dream was to be a neurologist actually. So
Okay.
school was kind of my life and I worked really hard. I always studied really hard and never really thought that I was going to pursue the music dream really hardcore.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And you started your career from such a young age. Looking back on when you first started music and seeing where you are now, what kind of are you thinking?
Oh, I think that when I was younger, I probably covered a lot more Taylor Swift than I do now. Um, I think that you grow and evolve so much as an artist and you really learn who you are and what you want to say. And so I look back at some of the music that I was writing and performing when I was younger, and they were just so me at that time. But I think that I've definitely evolved into a different artist, and I'm still proud of who I was, but I'm even more proud of who I've become.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And we're just coming out of COVID right now. What was the hardest part of COVID for you? And was there a silver lining?
Yeah, so my silver lining was I signed my record deal during COVID. So that was obviously great and a dream come true. I think the weird part was definitely signing during COVID
Right.
because I signed at the height of quarantine. It was May 1st,
Mm.
and I was alone in my apartment building signing online via DocuSign. And so I think when you dream of signing a record deal, it's this thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to sign and then I'm going to get out and start touring and all of this is going to start happening. And the music industry was really just at such a standstill. So I think that was really hard for me because I had these big dreams once I signed and I was still kind of had to stay put for a bit.
Right. And congratulations on your record deal. That is huge. Um,
Thank
yeah, of course. I do want to touch on your song Levi Denim.
you.
It racked up over 250,000 views, which is insane. When you found that out, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Oh my gosh, I think that it's always a dream come true to get my music in front of people because that's the ultimate goal and see that people responded well to the song, and working with Savannah Crisley in the video was a dream come true as well. And so yeah, I think it was all around just a dream.
Yeah. And it's such a great song too.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And your brand new release, Forever Plus One, what can you tell us about that song?
Yeah, so I actually walked into my co-writing session that morning, not even caring about writing a number one song, which has always been my goal walking into co-writing sessions, to write that song that kickstarts my career.
Right.
And I had just found out that my sister was getting married. And so I really just wanted to write something special to her and her fiance at the time, that really just came right from my heart. And so Forever Plus One is truly just Chase Martin, my heart and soul, and just really came from a place of love and compassion. And so I was really proud to release that song, and I'm glad that the label loved it. And it seems like other people are loving it too, and that's all you can really hope for. I'm glad that other people have been able to connect to my sister's love story.
Of course. And when writing songs so personal, is there ever kind of something saying, "Oh, I don't know if I can do it justice"?
I don't know. I think that was probably the most personal a song has felt to me. And it
Mm,
really taught me a lesson to always write from my heart because it's also one of my favorite songs that I've written.
mhm.
And so before, I feel like you're constantly chasing that, I got to write a hit song, I got to write a hit song thing all the time in Nashville. And for me, that song, like I said, was such a learning experience because it did teach me the more personal it is, I think the more people will see that because people can tell when you're being authentic. And so I don't think it was harder to write. I think it was honestly easier because it just came straight from me.
Yeah, for sure. And with the music video for that song, what was your favorite part about shooting that?
Yeah, so they actually cleared out a dive bar in East Nashville and brought in a baby grand piano. And it was, I think, from like the 1800s. It was an antique baby grand and it was super out of tune. And so we had the backing track of Forever Plus One going, so that my lips would line up. And the piano was so out of tune. So it was this really horrific noise that was coming through the room all day. So I feel bad for the poor crew that had to do it and record it. But I think that's a highlight looking back on it and a great story to tell.
Yeah, of course. And looking at the video, you would have never guessed it because the music video is so beautiful and so elegant. So
You.
I love that. And
You're so,
I'm sorry?
I said you're so sweet. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, of course. It just cut out like a little second. Um, so on your socials, you had just recently posted a TikTok video of your new song. That I heard you moved out of your apartment downtown. Will we be hearing that soon, studio recorded, or what's your plans for that song?
I honestly was just listening to demos in my car and I have a special feeling for that song and I just love it so much. And so when I was listening to it, I was just like, oh, I'm going to pop up my phone and record me singing over top of the demo.
Yeah.
And it's done really well on TikTok. So I really didn't have any plans for it, but I hope that it's coming out soon because people are responding so well to it and I love it, but I don't know if I'm biased. And so hopefully that one will be coming out soon because I love that one so much.
Yeah, it's such a great song and all the views it's getting. It's just it must be so exhilarating for you. Can you say the name of the song or is that kind of under wraps?
Oh yeah, it's called Most Likely Missing You. Right now you can only hear it on TikTok or Instagram, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it everywhere else soon. But yeah, people are responding so favorably to it. I didn't expect that, but it's truly very exhilarating. That was a good word.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, that's so exciting. Hopefully, in the studio we'll be able to hear a recording of it soon.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, for sure. What's your biggest goal as an artist individually?
Yeah, I think that it would be a complete out of body experience to walk into a store or get into the car and just hear my song playing on the radio or over top of the speakers in a store. I would obviously love to headline an arena tour for a really big goal. That's really shooting for the stars and sounds really cliche, but it would just feel so surreal to hear an entire arena singing the songs back that I wrote that came from me.
Yeah, and that's such an amazing dream. And I'm sure you've thought about headlining your own, arena stadium tour before. Have you given thought to who you might ask to open up for you?
Oh, man, I don't know. Hopefully Taylor Swift will be opening for me one day. I
Right?
got
Right.
stars.
That would be so awesome. And if you ever, did like a Chase Martin festival, who would you want to bring on the road with you just as supporting acts?
Ooh, so obviously some of these are going to be bigger than me, so I would be supporting them at this stage of my career, but I would love to play with Dan and Shay.
Yeah.
Ronnie Dunn is like, oh my gosh, one of my favorite all-time favorite country singers. Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen.
Mhm.
There are just so many great artists out there right now. It's insane.
Yeah, and those are all such great artists that, I mean, you would sell out a festival so easy, and I would love to see them supporting you. That would be awesome.
I would love to see them supporting me. That would mean that all my dreams came true.
Of course, of course. And this is kind of a question because the music industry is so versatile, and I love to see what artists have to say about their side of the music industry. So, what's one thing you love about the music industry and one thing not so much?
One thing that I love about the music industry is getting to connect with people all over the world and all over the United States. And it really gives you the opportunity to be able to relate to somebody's life without even knowing it, or have an effect on somebody's life, or change their life without ever even knowing it. And I think that's pretty incredible. And when people do reach out to me and tell me a story about how I may have had an impact on their life, I think that that is truly so humbling. And I think that's my favorite part of the music industry.
Mm.
My least favorite part about the music industry is how hard it is to just get your music heard, because there are so many artists out there and so many amazing artists that, of course, it's hard to break through the cracks. And so it's definitely a roller coaster ride and very hard to navigate through.
Definitely. And using kind of that as our next question, what would you say to, girls and guys out there strumming their guitar in dive bars that want to be an artist?
I would say go for it, and you have to work harder than everybody else and just really put your all into it and make it happen, because I think anything in this life is possible if you're willing to work for it.
I love it. I love it. And lastly, Chase, what can we be expecting from you in the near future?
Hopefully, a whole bunch more music, a whole bunch of shows so I can get out and meet everybody. Just a whole lot of Chase Martin.
That's awesome. Chase, thank you again for taking time out of your Thursday to spend time with us.
Thank you for having me. It was so good to see you.